I've covered this already in a few of the videos, but there are a few more interesting details about what was left out of the theatrical release of Dune. I'll be summarizing a lot of what I said, but adding a few more things. So let's get to it. So in terms of the scenes we know definitely been left out, there's Gurney playing music, there's Jessica training Paul, there's Yue speaking with Jessica, presumably about his wife in detail. There's also some added interaction with Yue and Paul where he hands him what's known as a Bible, again, within the world of Dune. There's also Duncan landing on Arrakis, and this is mentioned in the film that he met the Fremen ahead of time. So we have those scenes, but there's now some additional details about the other scene. For instance, it's been a big rumor if there is or is not a banquet scene. I cannot confirm there was, quote, the banquet scene from the books, but there definitely was some kind of dinner scene set up. If we look at Leia Kynes, the way Jessica is dressed, and the way that House Atreides is set up, there was some kind of formal party. It's unclear if they replicated totally the banquet scene, but it seems like something functionally like the banquet did in fact occur within the larger cut of the movie, but they got rid of it. There's also a very gruesome scene with the Duke and how he gets, quote unquote, a gift from the Baron. It's a little odd. Essentially, he gets a chest, and this chest is filled with fingers who are cut from kind of slave workers on Arrakis. And he's sort of sending it as a kind of weird gift and forewarning about what is going to happen to House Atreides. But probably most critically and most interesting, there was added interaction with Thufir and Paul, but also Thufir and Peter. With Paul, this is kind of obvious, and it is implied that he's been receiving Mentat training and specifically gained training on the Hunters. So Paul escaping the Hunters is not an accident. It was due to specific training with Thufir, and there's dialogue between the two, and in fact, the actor has confirmed this, that the scene was shot, they did it, but again, ultimately did not make it into the final theatrical release. What has also been confirmed is that there was an interaction with Peter and Thufir. Now, originally I thought it was just Thufir being captured by the Sardaukar and just being brought generically to the Baron or to the Baron's forces. But apparently Thufir and Peter have a face-off, and they do interact with one another, and they have a brief exchange and confrontation. And they essentially exchange notes, though Thufir apparently doesn't talk. He's just been captured, he's been humiliated, and so on and so forth. There is one additional scene, which interesting, even Secrets of Dune passed over, but I know this one did occur, and that is an additional scene with Peter where apparently he's torturing someone. So there's a torture scene with Peter, and that too was ultimately cut. People who are doubting this, yes, this is real. There is an additional cut. There is a much longer cut. It is much over 3 hours. There are now quite a few different confirmations from Kevin Smith, Chloe Zhao, and even Joe Walker, who's the editor of Dune. So again, I don't know why people are in denial about this. I understand that they like Denis Villeneuve. They want to have his artistic auteur vision. Denis has made clear he doesn't like going back to his cuts. He thinks that the theatrical cut is the only cut, and so on and so forth. And again, I've only described some of the additional scenes. In totality, it's quite a lot. There's perhaps at least as many as 10 scenes that we have not fully seen. Although, to be careful, not all these scenes are completed. Some of these were filmed and then they abandoned it, or they were beginning it but then abandoned it later. So, but again, overall, we do at least have sort of 10 proto scenes and some complete scenes, but they've just not been available to us yet. So there we are, an update on the extended cut controversy and additional details on the cut scenes in Dune 2021. Thank you for listening.